When it comes to the car industry, evolution is the name of the game. With so many models out there with features that we didn't even know we wanted, needed, or existed until, well, they were actually out. As evolution is the name of the game, we do expect changes such as facelifts and upgrades every once in a while, especially from popular nameplates. Mazda, it seems, knows this very well as it continues its Kodo design and a philosophy of premium without the price tag, which actually I'm a big fan of. This is the updated Mazda 2 Hatchback Premium. Do you need help purchasing your car insurance? Head on over to AutoDeal.com.ph/car-insurance. Here, you can compare prices and customize your insurance coverage from many of the Philippines' top providers. When you've selected the insurance that's best for you, simply fill out the application and complete the transaction with ease through Visa, MasterCard, GCash, GrabPay, or PayPal, and receive your policy within the next business day. Get the best deal on insurance with AutoDeal. Mazda Philippines, for the 2022 model year, has decided to slim down on its offerings, at least for the Mazda 2. Instead of being available as both a sedan and hatchback, it is now only available as a hatch, which at least slims down the choices for me as to which body type I'd want to really take home. Now that said, the whole evolved Kodo design of the Mazda 2 works really well because you get a slightly revised front bumper, a new front grille with a signature wing, LED daytime running lights, and new LED headlights as well. It's overall an elegant look for the subcompact hatch that is further accentuated by the black 16-inch wheels. Speaking of wheels, it's wrapped in 185/65 series tires. On the side, the Mazda 2 is still looking good with a couple of body lines here and there for a subtly shaped body. Like before, it still comes with repeaters on the side mirrors, and the hatchback still sits on 152mm of ground clearance. Now, one thing I'd like to point out that I'm not a fan of, unfortunately, is how skinny the new tires are. These are now 185s. Previously, they may have been 195s, even 205s. But these skinny tires, well, I don't like them simply because they make the rim pop out. And that's not very, well, it's not very Kodo, is it? The rear is quite almost the same except for one very shiny little difference that I love a lot. When you open her up, it's the same amount of space you're looking at, not much more than 200 liters of space. However, when you fold the second row, you are almost at 1,000 liters of space, which just basically goes to show that the Mazda 2 is just like me. It may be tiny, but it's deep. Whatever, I can't say that with a straight face. Engine! Under the hood, unfortunately, and I say this with an extremely heavy heart, is not the European spec engine which we expected with a high compression ratio that produces 115 horses and 148 Nm of torque with even much lower emissions. No. Mazda still puts in the same 1.5-liter naturally aspirated Sky Active Drive engine. It produces 108 horses and 141 Nm of torque. It still sends power to the front wheels via a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, however disheartening that may be, it still produces 10.5 kilometers per liter on a bad day in traffic and about 18 kilometers per liter on the highway, which slots it just about the same as its sedan counterpart. Now, to the untrained eye, it may seem that there is zero changes inside here for the second row, but that's not exactly true. It is true that there's still only a cubby space found here that everybody needs to share, and there are no bottle holders on either door, neither is there a center armrest. But the materials for the seats have changed, as well too as lumbar support that's now available for the rear passengers. This nice Alcantara here in the color blue leather is chosen and designed by Mazda so that it enhances the driving experience for everybody inside the automobile, which, you know, it just might, you never know. And there's also this white stripe that's found in the center, which actually I quite like. If anybody out there has ever seen the new Mazda MX-5 that's made just for the Philippines, for the Mazda Car Club of the Philippines, you'll note that this blue and white has something to do with that. Now, if there's one thing that Mazda does consistently well, is that it gives you a very good, no, sans that, a very great driving position. It really, really does give you a very good and comfortable feeling when you're behind the wheel. The seats may not be powered, because this is only a Mazda 2 after all, but at the very least, everything actually is within reach. And the dashboard has got this, you know, very ergonomic design to it. The dashboard of the Mazda 2 remains familiar, as it still gets an analog gauge flanked on either side by digital gauges and a 7-inch infotainment system that is operated by, yep, the commander knob found in the center. The infotainment system still comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is good, and it also still doubles as your reverse camera. Now, what has changed in the interior is the addition of the heads-up display, which pops up like so. Now, you're only used to seeing this on the much higher models of Mazda, like the Mazda 3, the Mazda 6, and so on and so forth. So it's nice to see that they finally added it to the smallest Mazda of them all, this 2. While the dashboard retains the same design, the way Mazda has changed up certain accents has added to its charm. In the previous model, it came with a large black accent panel. In this iteration, the accent panel is now dark blue and it's wrapped in leather. A nice touch, especially as Mazda wants to be more, upmarket with its vehicle lineup. And like before, the Mazda 2 hatchback still comes with tactile climate control knobs, easy to use and well within reach. Faux carbon and soft plastics are still around, which is, still great. Where the Mazda 2 hides all of its upgrades is when it comes to its safety system. See, it now comes with smartphone mirroring, wireless Apple CarPlay, yep, wireless, and an onboard wireless charger. For safety, the hatchback now features 6 airbags, smart city brake support, driver attention alert, lane departure warning, and blind spot monitoring. I have made a mistake. Please forgive me. Allow me to explain. Earlier, I made mention that the tires I thought of this generation were actually skinnier compared to the previous generation, where in fact they're actually exactly the same. The size is 185. The difference is that the wheel size of this generation is bigger. Previously, they were 15s, now they're 16. Now, this is important to note because regardless of the tire size or wheel size, nothing of the driving dynamic has changed. It still gives you a boatload of confidence, a boatload of stability, whether you're driving at speed, in a corner, out of a corner, or in a straight line, or stuck in traffic. Because truthfully, why would Mazda fix something that isn't broken? I mean, that's just not Mazda. They got it right the first time. Why would they change it? And I'm glad they didn't. What Mazda has added, though, made it a little bit better, is the fact that they've put G-Vectoring Control Plus inside the Mazda 2. Now, some of you may be thinking that it's just going to jack up the price of the car, something that I don't necessarily need, like ambiance when I'm eating a hot dog in a bun. But no, not exactly. See, G-Vectoring Control Plus is not only used when you're pushing it through the mountain roads or when you're going at high speed. It's also useful inside the city at low speeds, especially if you're going to try to avoid, say, an accident or those sweet little potatoes that seem to cross the road every once in a while. Yes, it is definitely going to be useful. And plus, considering that, well, the time of the season is upon us when the roads are going to become very, very slippery, G-Vectoring is most definitely a plus. Pun intended. Much like the previous generation, NVH, good. Suspension, good. Engine, good. Transmission, really good. You might say that nothing's changed, but really, that's not a bad thing because they may not have changed for the better, but they also did not change for the worse, if you think about it. Now, I don't exactly want to end this video on a downer, but it sucks that the sun decided to play hide and seek at the moment, and then raindrops started to fall as we were ending this video, because I wanted to showcase this platinum quartz color, which is really gorgeous. Luckily enough, we were able to track it while the sun was still out to show it in all its majesty, and boy, does it really look good. Now, that color and all the features wrapped into this 2022 model does come at a premium of 1,195,000 Philippine pesos, which is, to be honest with you, it's expensive. It's a bit more than the previous generation, but I guess you can chalk it up to evolution does come at a price. Mazda hasn't gotten it perfect. God, nobody will ever get it perfect, but they do get closer to perfection every time they try.